What's up, guys? This is Dr. Kyle from Cape Chiropractic and Acupuncture coming at you with this week's movement tip of the week. This week, we're going to talk about a few things regarding wrist pain and aches, as well as wrist pain with movements such as push-ups or kind of any sort of handstands, anything of that nature. This is relevant to pretty much everyone, people who like to work out, people who like to do yoga, people who are working at a desk all day, because a lot of these issues are seen in all of these realms, and they kind of overlap and translate. One thing that a lot of people are lacking in this day and age is adequate wrist mobility, especially into extension. So what extension is your ability for your wrist to go up in this direction here. Now, from activities of daily living like typing, gripping, texting, or if you work out a lot of grip intensive movements, with a kettlebell or whatever it may be, can really increase some of the tension and tone through the musculature in your forearm, specifically a lot in this part, the flexor part of your forearm, but really both sides. So today I want to show you guys a few ways to help manage any sort of wrist aches that may occur, especially when you get into a loaded position that might increase the discomfort in the wrist here. There's a lot of reasons beyond just muscle tension why this can occur, so this is something that you may want to try, but you can also have some issues going on in the wrist, or issues going on in the shoulders or the lats that might be causing this problem as well, but this is a good place to start and check it out. So the first part is just seeing how your wrist moves. So seeing if you can flex down, seeing if you can extend up. Ideally, when you do wrist extension, you want to be able to have about 80 to 90 degrees, because if you think about when you go into a push-up position, you're putting your joints and your wrists into about a 90-degree position. So if you don't have enough extension or ability to do this, and then you start to try and forcefully obtain that position when you're doing a push-up, a handstand, or whatever it may be, you might be creating some issues or some pain in the wrist that you don't need to. So a few ways to manage this. I'm a firm believer in taking care of your tissues and all that. You don't have to spend a ton of time doing things like foam rolling or anything like that. A couple minutes here and there, but it can be very helpful to help warm up the tissues and create a little pliability. This tool in particular, not everyone may have, but a lot of people have a pizza dough roller or things like that at the house. Try that out. A lacrosse ball could be helpful as well, and a foam roller if you have one. But I particularly like this tool for the wrists and the forearm muscles. So what you can do, especially to get the flexor muscles that actually control how much you can go into extension, is just creating a 45-degree angle with the stick, putting it down on the table, and then just going through and rolling out all these tissues here, okay? You don't really want to feel any sort of nervy or numbness, tingling sensations, so if you do, don't hang out in that spot, okay? Do this for about 30 seconds to a minute. If you find a sticky spot or one that's a little more sensitive, usually you can hang out there for a little bit longer and just iron out that tissue just a bit. And then to flip sides and get the extensor side, you just switch the stick to the inside and roll through there, okay? Now that'll feel really good and help warm the tissues up a little bit. But what we do after is even more important, which is kind of a little bit of an exercise or a loaded stretch. My favorite way to do this is on the ground. If you don't have time for this, I'll show you an alternative afterwards. But this can be a really intense stretch, so the closer you start to your body to stretch these muscles out, the better. Put your fingertips near your knees, okay, and just gently load into this position. If you have pain with this, you might want to lay off or try and even get your hands closer to your body. But if you can tolerate walking your hands out a little bit and then simply rocking backwards, you're going to feel a really, really nice gentle stretch through the areas that may be limiting your ability to extend through your wrist. So you feel a nice gentle stretch through there. You can continue to walk your hands out and intensify the stretch as you can tolerate it, okay? Hang out here for about 30 seconds to a minute. You may even want to go 2 minutes if you've had a long day at the office, okay? And the same thing for the other side. With this one though in particular, don't put all your weight on your wrist. I'm putting probably 8 to 10% of my weight on my hands right now. You want most of your weight going through your legs, through your hips, okay? And all you have to do with this one is, again, gently rock backwards this way, okay? You can change the angles of your hands a little bit to hit different areas of tension through your wrists, okay? These are two very, very effective ways to help open up the wrists, especially before going and doing some push-ups, before you're going to get a nice workout in that might do some front squats, or if you're just working at an office all day and you use your fingers and your wrists and elbows all day. When you're doing those two movements, try and keep your elbows as straight as you can. If you're not able to get down on the ground during the middle of the day, or you don't have time to do that, the generic or very traditional stretch of just going down to extension, kind of rotating your arm, rotating your wrist, and going up this way is also adequate. I prefer the other method just because it simulates more things like push-ups or handstands, especially for our active populations. Give this one a try, guys, and have some fun, and I hope you have some healthy and happy wrists. Thank you.